Hello, everyone. Welcome to the We Like Wrestling podcast. I'm here with John and our special guest, Mr. Ryan Vox.
Justin,
Hey, everybody. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm great, man.
Justin is not here because he's the champion and he feels like he doesn't need to show up anymore. He's too good.
There you go.
So it's crazy what a belt can do to somebody. So Ryan Vox, give us a little background. You are the Commissioner of Outbreak Wrestling, but how did your career start? How did you get into wrestling?
Well, it started with me being a musician and being in a band, and we were putting out an EP, and I was trying to find clever ways to promote it. And I was watching SmackDown and noticed everyone coming out to music that was pretty similar to what we were doing. So I went through my MySpace, because that's how long ago it was, and found every pro wrestler that I had on my friends. Was it a friends list? I don't remember what it was.
MySpace is so old. I don't know.
Yeah, I really don't remember anymore. But yeah, I messaged every single one of them. And we got a few bites, but the biggest one was Steve Carino, who wanted to use one of our songs for something that he was doing over in Japan. So that was really cool. And, you know, we got big in Japan, so to speak. We did get a lot of downloads from Japan, which was cool. But then one day, the whole band thing kind of went away, and I was looking for something new to do. I wasn't really interested in staying up until 4 o'clock in the morning all the time in bands and doing super unhealthy things all the time. So I changed direction and I got in touch with Steve Carino, since he's from the area, and said, "Hey man, do you know of any good schools around here?" And he said, "Hold on, let me make a phone call." And I've been Dungeon Strong since the next day.
And the Dungeon is the Mess Brothers, right?
That's right. Mark and Troy Mess,
right.
Landon, PA, the Dungeon. It's been there 28 years, I want to say the school has been going.
Wow.
Yeah. Pumped out a lot of talent. A lot of the guys that you see on the shows that you attend came through the Dungeon one way or another.
And when you began wrestling, I know you had Live Wire as a gimmick. Was that your original gimmick, or did that become an eventual thing?
No, I started, I kind of started young boy style and just went out as Ryan Vox in pretty plain gear and slowly evolved. I actually wore the same pair of boots my entire career, which is kind of funny. But yeah, the character slowly evolved. I was with the company and they dubbed me Vicious Vox for a heel thing that we were doing. And that was good. That was fun. And then Sean Hardy from 1CW dubbed me Rockstar Ryan Vox, which played on the musician background. So that was easy to do, and the gimmick kept evolving. And I ended up at a company called Valor Pro Wrestling, mainly out of York, PA. And they had this great tag team called the Motley Two, Scotty Feelgood and Ian Wildside Cross. And I jokingly said one day, "Hey, man, if there's ever a 6-man that pops up or something, let me know. I'll be Live Wire. It'll be great. We'll mix it all up." And as fate would have it, at a show in West Virginia for Covey Pro, Scotty ended up breaking his ankle in a battle royal, and they had a lot of commitments to fulfill. So he hit me up and he said, "Hey, were you serious about the whole Live Wire thing?" I said, "I can be. I definitely can be." I was doing the Working Class Heroes at the time too. So it was interesting. We ended up mixing all of it and using Yams the Working Man with Motley too. So that worked out really well. It gave us a lot of flexibility going through different companies. We could do singles, tags, 6-mans, whatever was necessary. So that helped a lot. And it ended us at a company called AXW, and all of us were there. And we were, it was the Field House, and it was Temple Social Quarters, and it was Pottstown. I forget the name of or Pottsville. I forget the name of the venue, but that was a great show that AXW threw there. There were some rock clubs in Reading that they threw shows at. And we ended up deciding to not work for other companies just so we could focus on AXW. And one day their booker left, and I was sweeping up at the end of a show, and someone came up to me and asked if I wanted to be on creative.
What's it like traveling? I know that's a big thing that most guys talk about. I don't know how far you've traveled, but I can imagine. I've heard some guys travel to different states, and so how's that?
Well, travel for me was awesome because I always traveled with either Yams the Working Man or Wildside, so the travel was always fun. You're with good brothers and you're just riding the roads. I personally loved it, but not obviously, but I actually didn't have to drive a whole lot. Yeah, when Yams is in a vehicle, Yams likes to drive. He doesn't want anybody else driving, so it worked out pretty well. I really enjoyed life on the road. It was fun.
You have anything you want to ask?
Well, I guess you come from a musical background, so you travel a lot as a musician.
Right. I actually traveled a lot more as a wrestler and made a lot more money as a wrestler than I did.
So are you officially retired from in-ring, or?
Yeah. I haven't had a match in I don't know, ever since the Eric Chappell Memorial Show. That ended up being my last match with Funkin' Awesome and the Extreme Rednecks. And I had the amp in my corner, so it was a good way to go out.
How emotional was it? Hanging your boots up, as they say.
Well, for me, it wasn't that match wasn't about me at all. It was the Eric Chappell Memorial Show, so everything was about Eric. What was supposed to be my retirement match never actually ended up happening. The show got canceled, and the company actually never ran again. They were the only company I still wrestled for while I was working for AXW, which turned into Outbreak. But the moment I started booking for AXW, I took myself off the roster. So that was most of, that pretty much annihilated all my bookings. I wasn't really interested in wrestling anymore, except for the one company, Rampage.
Do you have hopes of stepping in the ring for one last match? And what would it be?
I mean, it's pro wrestling, so you never say never, right?
Yeah.
But if I was going to have another one, I'd want it to be a cage, maybe War Game style, if we could make that happen, because I've never had one of those. I've had plenty of TLC matches and stuff like that, but never got to have a real good steel cage match. Been involved in some, but never had one of my
own. So what's it like running a promotion compared to wrestling for a promotion?
It's a lot busier. It's a lot more work. I have to talk to a lot more people, and so that's kind of daunting, but I enjoy it more. I feel like this is what I wanted to do from the beginning anyway. I wanted to run a company at some point. I didn't expect it to happen in 5.5, 6 years or whatever it took for it to happen. I thought it would take 10 years, 15 years, something like that, but it happened sooner. So I had to adjust and I had to do it.
And how'd you go from AXW to Outbreak? How did that?
That was really just a change of ownership. There was Outbreak was originally supposed to be like the NXT to AXW's WWE, where I would get to really work with the younger talents and build them up before they went up to the huge Hamburg Fieldhouse shows. And one of the owners, there was a dispute with him and myself and Jared, and then he ended up moving not just out of state, but he moved many, many states away. So it ended up really not being beneficial for him to be part of the team anymore anyway. And without him, it wasn't AXW. So we just took Outbreak and turned it into the main thing and kept it moving. And now we have our own Outbreak because we have Outbreak Quarantine.
Yeah, I was gonna say Quarantine is now kind of like your NXT.
And they're killing it.
Yeah,
they're killing it. There's such good action on Outbreak Quarantine on YouTube.
Yeah, I've been to most of those, and it's great seeing them. And what's it like from your perspective, to perform without a crowd?
Very different. Extremely different. And I don't know if it's like, I can only draw off of my wrestling experience, but I always kind of fed from the crowd, and I was able to call audibles if the crowd wasn't feeling what we were doing and we had to move on into something else. And that particular aspect is gone now.
Yeah.
But we're getting to go live again
I
very
can't wait.
soon. So it's going to be, we're going to be right back at it, man. It's going to be great.
Would
Gonna be
you
great. And
say,
luckily, the roster has been, they work for other companies as well. And a lot of the other companies have been doing shows. So they've been getting in front of fans more often, but I haven't gotten to yet.
would you say it's harder or easier without a crowd? Because I feel like with a crowd, you're under more pressure, but at the same time, without a crowd, it's not, like you said, you're not feeding off that crowd. So,
Right. It's a little, it's different. It really is. It's a completely different ball game. But you really see who rises to the occasion when we're thrown into scenarios like this. And you see people that can adapt and can make that change. Because it's still professional wrestling and things still change at the very last minute all the time. So they still had to deal with that particular element. And it's not that there was no crowd. We did have, other wrestlers and people involved in the production of the show in there, and they were cheering and booing and trying to interact as well as they could like a normal crowd.
I would think one of the advantages to having no crowd is, much like WWE does, is you can sort of, if there's a mistake, you can cover it up. There's no one there to see it.
Right.
Especially with the younger guys, you can stop a match and go, hold on, let's do it this way. And
yeah, actually,
Yeah.
That is an advantage, but luckily we haven't had to take advantage of it yet.
well, that's good. But
Yeah.
these
Yeah,
guys are
everything's
great.
been pretty good as far as the Outbreak shows have been going.
good.
Production wise, what's it like, being behind the camera and going through all the editing and, all that stuff?
It's completely just a mind blower, especially since none of us had any experience whatsoever with it. But the
Right.
pandemic happened, and we did everything legally and made sure that we were allowed to do what we were doing when we were doing it, which caused pauses in production and things like that. But we all had to learn on the fly. We all had to learn to run cameras, how to set up lighting, how to do staging. Mark Mest really went out of his way to learn production and editing. If Mark wasn't like available to us, we wouldn't have been able to do this. It would have been impossible. He's really dedicated himself to making the Outbreak television show very good.
I've seen all the changes you guys made, and it looks great. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's been a learning process the whole way. If you ever want to see some really raw studio wrestling, go watch those first few episodes of Quarantine.
Oh yeah.
We were really just learning and figuring out as we were going along, but we had to keep putting stuff out for the fans. We didn't want to be dead indefinitely until, society decided to let us run again.
Right. Whenever you have questions, chime in.
Well, just listen. I'm learning a lot here. I like this.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you also did some commentary.
Yeah, I did a little bit of commentary in the beginning. I ended up doing, like I said, I have done almost every single job in professional wrestling at this point, except referee a match. Never done that. But thanks to these tapings, I've done everything. I've ring announced, I've done commentary, I've run camera. Like, it's it's just been crazy, but it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. But I actually haven't been seen on camera since the Halloween episode.
Oh. So what were some of your favorite moments in wrestling?
What do you mean, in my wrestling or in wrestling in general?
In your career, in your in-ring career?
Oh man, there was a ton of them. There was let's see, we had a great title match for AXW at the Field House. Motley 2 versus the Mess Brothers versus the Kings of Mustachery versus the Extreme Rednecks, where the Mess Brothers became the first ever AXW tag team champions. And that match was insane. It was intense. There was like 1,200 people there. And it ended up being Mark Mess' last match. It ended up being Wildside Cross's last match. It was a crazy match, and that one I'll remember. Wrestling in Nashville was really cool in the old TNA Asylum.
Oh,
Cool.
Yeah, we did a few shows there and worked with the Nashville semi-pro football team. We did a bunch of stuff with them. It was crazy. And working in front of that Southern crowd was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Those were really good trips. There's a lot of stuff from Rampage between the TLC match with the Entourage and 410 Massive. The stuff we did in Project Mayhem, I feel was probably my creative peak as a wrestler. We were doing a lot of crazy stuff in Project Mayhem, and it really helped the company. It helped every one of us. It helped everyone that we worked with, and that was the focus of Project Mayhem. And it was really cool to see it come to fruition there.
Would you rather be in ring or behind the scenes?
Well, at this point, I'm 40 years old with a broken back and have had a few concussions, so I'm really happy just staying backstage, doing my thing and letting everybody else get in the ring.
DDP only started when he was 40, so hey.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't actually start even training until I was 32. But yeah, DDP obviously did quite better than I did.
So do you have a favorite match? I know you touched on the tag team match, but is there one that you like, a special stipulation, or that you just thought was really cool, took some hard bumps?
It was probably a twofer. I liked the little story that we did in Rampage where there was a gauntlet match for their Open Challenge Championship. And Killian McMurphy went through like 4 or 5 people and ended up winning the match. And then my music hit. And I walked out with a kendo stick and this crazy mask over my face and looked like I was going to hit him with the stick. And when the ref took it, I pulled my mask down, blew mist in his face, rolled him up and pinned him real quick, won the Open Challenge Championship. And at the return show, he whipped my ass from pillar to post. And then he won, and he had a huge celebration in the ring. And that was probably my favorite moment in pro wrestling, because I've known Killian since he was the Shamrock Shooter, Killian McMurphy, and I've been so happy watching his climb, and I got to be a tiny little part of it. So I thought that was really cool.
That's cool. Do you have any inspiration for how you run things? Meaning, is there any one particular owner that you gain knowledge from, or that you're a big WCW guy? So is there anybody? Right.
God, don't run it like they did.
Did you take anything from any certain owner and put any of that towards Outbreak?
I can't say any single, because it's been literally everyone. I've been watching wrestling and been a fan of wrestling since before I had any choice in the matter. Spent the first 9 years of my life in Erie, PA, which actually got pretty good cable, and I got to see a whole lot of stuff. And then when I moved to this area, I still had NWA, WCW available to me, and WWF. And then ECW came along in like 92, 93 on this old UHF station at 2 a.m. and stuff like that. And I've drawn from every little bit of it, every single little bit of it to put into Outbreak, And it's not just me. Everybody who's backstage has influence in what happens, and the talent has influence in what happens. We have a very open door policy where we want to talk to everybody and figure out what's going to be the best thing going forward for everybody.
You said you were a fan of wrestling. So who was your favorite growing up?
Sting.
Yeah.
Sting?
Sting. All day, every day since 1990. Sting.
You like Surfer Sting better than Crow Sting?
Surfer Sting all day. Oh, yeah.
That's cool. I like Sting.
Yeah.
Do you have a certain era in WCW that you like more than others?
I like early 90s and, like maybe a little bit of late 80s into like 93, 94. I like it for WWF too. I think that was just a fun era. But that's when I was becoming a super fan. So that's
before
that's my era.
NWO.
That's what I like,
You like before the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah. And I was still watching. I actually ended up stopping watching wrestling for a little while near the end of the Monday Night Wars because it was getting to like WWF was getting really Jerry Springer, and I wasn't real interested in that. And WCW, I'm pretty sure I watched an episode that went 90 minutes and I still hadn't seen a wrestling match. I was like, all right, we're done here. Like,
that's crazy.
they
That
did
sounds
stuff like that. It was all backstage and interviews, and I just Nitro house party videos.
A lot of guys who had guaranteed deals, they didn't have to wrestle, so they would just
Right.
cut promos for an hour. And
Yeah, it's crazy. It was crazy. So yeah, I just kind of stopped watching for a while. I even stopped watching ECW, which was like my favorite thing at the time, because and no disrespect to the Dudley Boys, but they would come out for a match. It's only an hour-long show, and they got a 15-20 minutes on the mic before they start doing anything.
Yeah.
So I kind of got away from that too. And at that point, everything was blood and every single match was mayhem. So that wasn't quite for me either.
See, I wish I was around during that. I enjoy ECW. I enjoy the weapons, the blood.
Right.
I know-
A lot of people do. A lot of people do. I kind of like, and not that I didn't enjoy that because I was a teenager coming of age. So of course I loved blood and all that stuff, but I was really more into, like when Benoit was there and Guerrero, Too Cold Scorpio had an amazing run in ECW. I liked watching their matches more than Axel Rotten and Balls Mahoney and stuff like that.
yeah.
I know we've talked about possibly going to a Tournament of Death. I know Justin's been to a couple, and he said they're definitely worth going to. So I can't wait for that. But
Yeah, if you're into that sort of thing, I don't think there's anything better.
I just they tailgate and everybody's friends for that day.
Yeah, I was gonna say everyone that goes to those shows seems to have a great time and enjoy themselves. So yeah, why not, dude?
So do you have anything that you would like to let everybody know? I know there are some things coming up, but I'll let you take the mic.
Yeah, well, if you follow us on Facebook, that we have July 24th is going to be a very, very, very busy day. We're going to have the Legends of Hamburg Festival from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., where you can come and meet a bunch of legendary wrestlers, a lot of which who have wrestled in the Hamburg Fieldhouse previously. Who do we got on there? We've got Missy Hyatt, Jimmy Hart, New Jack, Brooklyn Brawler. There's a ton of names that keep coming out. We personally are bringing in Cowboy Bob Orton.
Yeah,
he had a huge run at the Hamburg Fieldhouse. We're talking to another guy, and so I don't want to say his name yet. He'll probably be announced, I would say, in a month or so.
Okay.
Once the pandemic clears up a little bit, he'll be more comfortable to come out. But we just got today locked in. It's gonna be good for the first time at the Hamburg Fieldhouse since I want to say 1995 or so. We're gonna have Mr. Todd Gordon, the original owner of ECW.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How cool is that, dude?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's cool.
I'm so looking forward to that. I'm gonna pick his brain all night. He's gonna be so mad that he came out.
And then
What's he? I'm sorry. What's he been up to since ECW went out of business? Have you talked to him at all a little bit? Or
I have not spoken to him. One of my partners did, Antonio. Spoke to him and locked that up. I'm really not sure what he was. I was actually wondering the other day if he was still in the jewelry business or not, because I saw that Robbins Diamonds was going out of business, and I thought that he might get a little chuckle out of that. But yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm looking forward to seeing what he's been up to. He doesn't do a whole lot of conventions. I think he did one. I think he did
really quiet.
one
Yeah.
last year. You know, he was with Fonzie and Sabu and all those guys.
Even
So,
before the pandemic, he was kind of low profile. Right?
yeah, he's always been pretty low profile. So
Yeah.
I think the draw of the Hamburg Field House made the deal a little sweeter, and he wanted to come back.
And then you also have Too Cold Scorpio, Sandman.
going to be there. Sandman.
Um,
Tony Gurria is going to be there.
Snitsky.
Snitsky's going to be there. Jimmy Rave is going to be there.
Tito Santana.
Yeah, Tito. Yeah, how did I forget Tito?
Jimmy Ray.
I'm older than you guys, so I remember seeing WWF at the Hamburg Fieldhouse when I was a kid.
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
My man.
I don't remember much. I was little, but I remember.
Sure. Yeah, I saw the first WrestleMania on closed circuit television. I don't remember any of it, but I remember being in a movie theater and seeing Hulk Hogan wrestling a match, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm 43, so I'm not much older than you, but
right. Yeah, we're close.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So how does without getting into too much financial or personal stuff, how does this work for getting people like this? Do you reach out through their agent or manager? Do you contact them on Facebook or?
A lot of it has been through Facebook. One of our partners, Antonio, has been doing conventions for a long time. He's been working the tables. He's been getting the guys to and from their airports and stuff like that. So he's made a lot of contacts. We'll contact people we know that maybe had them for a signing beforehand and try to get them in. We've only booked a few of the talents ourselves. A lot of them are coming in through the other vendors.
Gotcha.
You know, so I'm not sure what their financial arrangement is. You know, I just know what we've been doing. So I don't want to speak to all of them, but man, I'm getting blown away by the announcements every single day of all the people that are going to be there. Yeah, I know I'm forgetting people because there's so many on the show and there's so many we've been talking to. And
I know I was just trying to look it up and I couldn't find
finalize.
anything.
You know?
Yeah. Very cool.
Are there any? Again, I don't want you to spoil anything, but is there any chance of getting more, WWF talent? I know you have a lot of WCW, ECW. I know in like hockey games, baseball games, there's been a lot of signings for Legends WWF. So,
right.
Do you have any hopes of getting any of those or?
We've been talking to some, but this is our first convention.
Yeah.
So we're not going to go super duper crazy. We're not going to get Kevin Nash. We're not going to get Sting, Kurt Angle, but maybe on the next one we will.
What about IRS?
I would love to have IRS. I don't think he's going to be allowed to come now. I think he got his job back.
I have a pop and it's 2-pack. It's with DiBiase and IRS. DiBiase signed it, but I'm waiting for IRS.
Nice, dude. Like, I loved Money Inc. growing up, dude. They were great.
Yeah.
They were great. I always liked Ted DiBiase for some reason. I knew I was supposed to hate him, but I was like, man, that falling fist is really good.
Yeah.
I liked it too. He was a worker, man. Hell of a worker.
Yeah, he was a great wrestler. It was hard not to respect what he was doing in the ring.
And he could talk. He was good.
Mm-hmm.
He should have had a belt. Yeah.
And I know
made his own.
I know most people thought his son would be the star of him and Cody, but yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah, I don't think Junior really wanted it as bad as his dad. I think he kind of felt like it was just something he was supposed to do.
Yeah, I don't know that he had the passion for it. Yeah,
right.
Kind of one of those things where it's your name. You kind of
yeah.
Hey, it happens a lot. You just don't see it because it happens on the indies. People are super duper into wrestling and they're super into training and they go through it and everything is awesome. But once they get out there and they start doing shows and they start traveling and they realize it's not really what they wanted to do.
You're bumping every night in front of 10 people.
Yeah.
And you made when you made $10.
Right.
It's not as fun as it used to be,
Yeah.
What can we expect July 24th with the convention, the show?
The show is going to be absolutely insane because we haven't had a live show since February of last year. My pencil's on fire. I've been going insane writing. Like, if you think that the shows we had before were exciting and surprising, just wait until you see what we're going to pull out in July. Like, there's varying scenarios on things, and anyone who's been backstage with me knows that I might not decide until people are about to go through the curtain. So
you're one of those guys.
yeah, sometimes, and I'm not playing with anybody. Sometimes I actually can't make a decision.
Yeah.
You know, and then I have to wait until the very moment and I'm feeling it and say, all right, this is what we're doing.
Yeah. I can't wait. We've all been saying we want to get back to live shows and concerts, and it's
I really wanted to get back to live shows, but we wanted to focus on the field house, because if we went to Temple with the restrictions, we'd have been able to have maybe 75 fans. And that's not, it's fine if that's what you can bring in, but that's not what we do at Outbreak. It's not, it just wouldn't feel like an Outbreak show. And we wanted to do the field house, and we had to wait until it got to a certain capacity so we could get at least 500 people in there. You know, if we couldn't at least put that many people in the building, we didn't want to do.
Yeah.
But you know, things are opening up more and more. I think we got up to 750 we're allowed to have now.
Wow.
So by July 24th, we might be allowed to have a pretty close to full house. And it could happen because tickets are already on sale and they're moving back.
I was gonna say, how are ticket sales going for you?
Ticket sales are going great.
Yeah.
They're really going great, especially for the convention. We haven't released specific show tickets yet, but there are combo packages that you can buy with the convention that include either a platinum seat or a general admission seat.
Yeah, 15 for the convention, 20 for general admission and convention, and then 30 for first 3 rows.
For the platinum, yeah.
Can we put a jar by the door and take donations for some air conditioning?
Oh man, I wish we could. I don't know if the
God.
building can handle it.
It's gonna be hot in
I don't know if the
there.
building can handle it, but one thing we are going to do, one of the reasons that building gets so hot is because we have the kitchen going and there's, you know, hamburgers and cheesesteaks and all this other stuff cooking back there, and it's all pumping into the venue. This time we're going to have food trucks outside. So they'll be cooking all the food out there. We're not going to have to worry about 400-degree, 500-degree ovens pumping heat out while we're already hot and trying to circulate the air with the huge fans. And, you know, we learned from when we did a July show 2 years ago. So we're going to look into some, they sell these, well, not sell, they rent these huge industrial things that we can get to really help cool down the place for July. And we're more than likely bringing those in for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be hot.
Not just good for, it makes the people feel better. The equipment is better. People wrestle better. Like
that place has always been
better all around.
It's always been hot in the summertime up there.
Yeah, it really always has. I feel that.
I think it's going to be worth it though.
So do I. Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it. I saw Ice Cream Man at Renders yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might see the return of Ice Cream Man July 24th.
Hey, that'll come in handy.
Right?
They might melt.
Right?
Yeah.
I've been talking about it for months. I told him, I said, get the suit dry cleaned, man. I think we're going to need you walking through the audience, just handing out ice cream sandwiches. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go.
I think last time
it might be milk.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get him a cooler. We'll get him a little cart thing. Come on.
Good.
I think last time we were at the field house, he was there handing out ice cream.
Yeah, he was. He had the freezer in the kitchen packed full of ice cream sandwiches.
That's cool.
I think the last
And that's
show,
all him. He goes out and buys those.
That has to be the most over gimmick.
It's ridiculously over. I love it. I love him to death. He's one of my favorite people.
Yeah,
he's cool with the kids. Yeah, kids like that.
He's a nice guy.
He's great.
Oh, he's a very nice guy. Yeah, I talked to him all the time. He's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think the last time at the field house was Jerry Lawler,
maybe, or Sheik, or Volkov. I mean, maybe
Volkov and Sandman and Raven.
Yeah.
Might have been the last show I was at up there.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that was one of the. That was not the last AXW show. I think it was the second to last AXW show.
Okay.
I feel like I've been to an Outbreak show at the Fieldhouse before, but
Oh yeah.
it keeps popping up as AXW. I don't know. I know I've been to Temple for Outbreak, but I
Right.
don't know.
Right. Yeah, we've had plenty of shows at Hamburg. All of our United We Slam shows were at Hamburg. 2 years ago, Battle of Bad Street was at Hamburg.
Battle of Bad Street, I remember that.
Oh, it's
Okay.
one of the Temple Fire Company. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Temple's a great venue. It just with restrictions,
Yeah.
we can't pack it the way we like to.
It's
And then
it's small, I think.
And to help our ticket sales along, everyone that buys a ticket to the show, where am I at? Here I am. Gets a raffle for a brand new one of these guys.
That's awesome. Yeah,
You'll be able to buy raffle tickets through the night too. But Jared did provide us with a brand new one of these as well. It's still in its wrapping.
Yeah.
I'll sign it. I won't sign it. Whatever you guys want. But everyone that buys a ticket gets a raffle ticket for this, and we'll give it away at the show in July.
Ryan Vox Wrestling Buddy. I gave one to Andy Header as well. He loved it.
Yeah, Headers is amazing.
Yeah, dude.
Mine's amazing too, but Headers is awesome.
Yeah, that's
The gear
Spawn
you
gear.
chose for it is
I gave Ryan one of those. So there's also another one like he set up for raffle. If you buy a ticket, you get a raffle. You can buy more at the show.
Mhm.
I was gonna ask actually, or for that raffle, can we announce that, or would you do it? Or
go ahead and announce it.
all right. It's your show, man.
This is you, man.
know.
You provided this. This is all your work.
I just wanted to help you guys out. So I didn't know who else to raffle off. I figured you are the commissioner. So
Yeah. Hey, every little bit helps, man. I think that's going to be a little bit of a motivator.
I'm glad to see you.
I think it'll sell some good raffle tickets the day of the show too.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get the blonde hair back?
Yeah. I was good.
I'm discussing it with my 5-year-old daughter. She's kind of being picky about it, but yeah, we probably will.
All right. I don't know any other Ryan Vox other than that blonde hair. So
Yeah, right. It's got to be there. Got to be there by the time we go live again.
and then we have some new shirts coming out for the convention and the show.
Mhm. They look great. I've seen the proofs. They look really good.
Thank you. They'll be in white. You can have them get autographed by whoever's there. I'll post the link to that as it gets closer, and obviously we'll have some to sell at the convention. If you're a vendor or just somebody who wants to sell something, get a table. It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, you might want to do that fast too. Like when we came up with this idea, I was like, oh my God, there's hundreds and hundreds of tables at the field house. We got nothing to worry about. Those tables are selling fast. They're selling real fast. So you might want to, if you're interested in getting a table, you might want to grab it as soon as you can.
And we also forgot to mention, I don't remember his name, but he used to have the Wrestling Universe store.
Bud Carson's going to be there. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's the store that was used to
Great
be
guy.
downtown.
He's been helping us out a lot on that.
I know Bud. Bud's a good guy too. Yeah.
Yeah.
He really is, man. I love Bud.
He used to have that store up at Merchant Square Mall or
Yep,
something up there downtown.
Yep.
Yeah.
He still does signings from time to time too. He'll bring a bunch of guys in and
Last time we went to that mall, it was Brian Myers. That was cool.
nice.
Yeah.
No, Bud's a good guy.
Yeah, we used to go to his store a couple times.
Yeah.
So yeah, he'll have some. I'm sure he'll have some stuff to sell there too.
Yeah, he's got some great guests. It's gonna be fun.
You have anything you want to get out of the way?
I don't know. I'll be bringing my son, who's 10, who's the biggest wrestling fan I know. He's so. Is there anything you can do for him?
I'm sure he'll get to meet the ice cream man. We do have. Is he coming to the convention? We have some really fun stuff planned that we haven't announced yet. That'll be interactive for kids to do at the convention too.
As of now, nobody there he knows.
Right.
Because he's 10, so he's more
Sure. Yeah.
John Cena era WWE. He doesn't know a lot of the
Right. This is the legends of Hamburg.
so he doesn't know a lot of these older guys.
Right.
So he'll probably just come for the show.
Mm-hmm.
But I think him sitting there during the convention, he'll be kind of bored.
He might be.
Yeah.
He might.
So,
Yeah.
He can get in the ring with us to announce the.
Yeah.
Um, Thank
He
you.
likes the shows. He always does.
yeah. Thank you, Ryan, for
Hey,
being our
thanks for
guest.
having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
I can't wait for July. know
I
you
can't wait. Dude. I'm popping out of
Yeah.
my seat.
I know. I've heard some of the surprises everybody has going on, and I'm excited. I can't say anything, but it's man. I'll tell you. I don't know how you do it because it's so hard to hold stuff in, man.
It is. It is. Oh my god. But you know, you do
especially
what you
this
have
day
to
and
do for
age
the
of
good of
social
professional
media.
wrestling, man.
Yeah,
Everything leaks nowadays. It's tough to keep secrets in wrestling.
Yeah.
and it just makes the announcement better. I can't wait to see what's in store for July. So thank you for coming on. We appreciate you being on our podcast. You're our first guest as a video, as a wrestling promoter. So thank you. We enjoyed this a lot.
Yeah, thank you very much, man.
Nice.
Very
Thank
cool.
you guys. I had a blast.
It was nice talking to you and getting your side of things. So
sorry, I got to put up with this guy.
yeah.
Him and Justin. I don't know how.
All right. He's been a huge help to Outbreak too, man. We love him.
Thank
and
you
we deal with
so
Justin.
much.
You know.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
I'll tell you, he's not going to see it, but I'm rolling him up at the next taping. Not going to see it coming, but it's happening.
he might be our podcast champion. I don't know.
Oh, there you go. I think that's all of Justin. There you go.
Thank you for coming on. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Can't wait for
Thanks again, guys. I'll see you very soon.
All right.